erase that blob.
Oh, you caught me. I'm in the hallways of Harvard and working on a very complex math problem. Oh, I must be very smart.
You need therapy from Robin Williams.
Yeah, but I'm gonna reject him at first and be mean to him about his passed away wife.
Those are your defenses from your rough childhood.
Right, but it's not my fault.
It's not your fault. Hey, it's not your fault.
Stop it.
Don't you know
Stop it.
that it's not your fault?
Stop. Oh!
Do you get it now?
Yes, all my problems are fixed.
That's all that it takes.
Then you make a movie about it. That was actually their relationship in real life at the time.
No way.
Oh no.
You know, I didn't realize that it was about a guy named Will Hunting. I thought it was like, hey, you're gonna go hunting? Here's Goodwill. I didn't know. I just didn't know.
You just didn't know. It's not your fault.
There is no way for me to know. Don't you see that?
I see that. I also see that every time you exhale, the breath goes out the eyeball holes of that mask and fogs up your glasses.
Well,
I really hope they can see it, but unlikely.
That's how lions work.
Oh, they breathe out of their eye holes?
Yeah, did you not know that?
I didn't know that, but it's not my fault.
What do you think about the two of us doing a sick dance break?
I feel pretty good. 1, 2, 3, go!
You've got to do better than that, Mr. Levi. Are you okay?
I'm okay, but my marker's not.
You're ruining the dance break. 7:30 to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
1, 2, 3, let's go. Have the chat up. Hello, sweet viewers. How are all of you? I'm gonna pull up the restream.
Especially you. You. Don't say anything yet. Levi's pulling up restream.
Yes, say not.
Don't look at my midriff. My hair thing. Say not. Install it now. Now is the time. Oh.
All right. Let me erase this bad boy. Hello. Good evening.
Who's that?
Nobody.
Oh.
It's just that little squid little guy.
Oh, the restream squid?
Yep.
I love the restream squid.
Yep.
Restream squid is my best friend and my business partner.
Squeegee.
Squeege word.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so
Very good.
I'm gonna pull up that thing and that thing. We just got, there was someone added. Oh, sorry, hello.
That was my foot.
Why?
I don't know.
I have 50% of that foot. Do you know that?
Sure. You and what army? Why is nobody messaging us?
Everybody hates us.
Oh.
Let me just pull this bad boy up on display dose. Whoa.
No intro? Did you put the intro on?
No, I did. Wait, what? We had an intro.
Were you just not here for the intro?
It was on.
You just show up? Because the intro happens and then we happen.
Yep.
I trust you put the intro on.
I did. I trusted me too.
Very good. Roby, you can go to our videos and watch the beginning of this stream and get the intro if you want.
Yeah.
And then slowly speed up so that you don't miss anything and you continue watching until it becomes live.
Do we...
What?
Is Reddit down? Roby, can you check if Reddit is down?
Hey, it's Slayer Darth.
Hey, Slayer Darth. I can't reach Reddit.
Slayer Darth
on computer.
remembered to say me. He just says, "How's it going, Levi?" in chat.
I think
Like he
Slayer
finally
Darth said that once.
and I held it against him forever. It's up. It's up. Yeah, that's because you put.
I don't think that's why.
Yeah, you're probably right. Hello, Levi and Brady.
Oh,
Hello.
there it is. Oh, I am
Here in the moment. Hello, Rob and Slayer. Oh, Roby. That's right. How's it going? It's very good.
So good.
So good. So good. I've got you. Bum, 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 bum. Ah! I feel good.
All right, Bird, you want to do this one and I'll link it?
Brady do something different with his hair. Slayer, Darth, where have you been? Yeah, it's, what do I have? Some kind of a ponytail right now?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Nice looking ponytail for a business partner.
Some little ponytail right now.
All right, Brady, do that if you think you can.
I'm stressed with the ESS AY TEE. Gosh, Levi!
Actually, how about this?
It's all over me now. What?
What? Okay, you post it. Can you do it on Reddit? I'll do this question.
No, I want to do this one.
I want you to do it.
You just posted it.
I want you to do it.
Right, I'm going to do it.
No, I want you to do it.
I'm doing it right now.
Bird. Go.
If 3C over D equals 4, it's all right. We'll find you a question afterward.
All right, thanks.
What's the value of 60D over C? Oh, that's fun. I like that a lot. Okay. 3C over D is equal to 4. We want 60D over C. Okay. Here's something to think about if you want. If you have this situation, 1 over x is equal to 5, and you're trying to solve this thing for x. X is in the denominator. You do not want it there if you're trying to solve for it. So you have to multiply both sides by this denominator to get it out of there. You multiply both sides by x. So then it's gone from here. You have 1 is equal to 5x. Now it's up top, which is nice. You got to divide by 5. So then you get x is equal to 1/5. Or you can do something else. We have 1 over x is equal to 5. Wouldn't it be great if you could just flip this thing so that x is on top? Well, you can. You can. It's new. They just worked this out in the labs where they figure stuff like this out. You can take the reciprocal of both sides. That's another move you have. Now, 5 is not a fraction, but we can make it a fraction. You flip both. You're going to have x over 1, which is just x, is equal to 1/5. It's kind of faster. Why am I telling you this? Because we're going to have to do something similar. C over D, they want D over C. It's different. But a reciprocal, NASA just confirmed the flip theorem. Yeah, they got pictures of it. They're kind of hazy. They had to use a lot of different satellites to get it, but they just got it, which is pretty incredible. If you have A over B is equal to 2/3, but what they want is B over A, the way to do that is to start with A over B and take the reciprocal of both sides, giving you 3/2. Okay? So we're trying to get this into looking like 60D over C. So why don't we start with getting D on top and C on the bottom? Let's just flip everything just to get going. I'm going to flip everything. I've got D over 3C is equal to 1/4. All right, that's wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. We've got to get this to match 60D over C, and then we're good. First thing is this 3 on the bottom. I don't like it. I want to get rid of it. I'm just going to multiply both sides by 3 just to get started here. So that's going to give me D over C is equal to 3/4. Okay, now the only thing separating me from what I want, D over C from 60D over C, is just 60. In order to turn this into 60D over C, I just have to multiply both sides by 60. Both sides multiplied by 60, that's a parenthesis. Let's give it some curvature. That's what's going to get me where I want to go. So this is now 60D over C. Put that over here. And 3/4 times 60 is going to be 45. 3/4 times 60, a fourth of it is 15. So we have 15, 30, 45. So that right there is your answer. Using one of these. You got these. I like these. You gotta have 2 of them though. You have to start standing up on your tippy toes though, because then when you flip it, you go back down. Something like that. Levi, do you want to do it now? All right.
No.
Very good. Hope you guys like that reciprocal thing, because I like it. I'm still stuck on a question that I'm sure you two helped me resolve. Would you like to tell us that question? Which still confuses me. Yeah! Slayer Darth, by all means. You're one of our bigger fans. Can you put it on the Discord, or can you write it there? There's a picture. Discord would probably be a better avenue. So I want to simplify the fraction that. Okay, I would start by clearing the fractional coefficient of 2/5 over 5. That's what they're paid for. Yeah, as if they paid us. Well, they do pay us for private tutoring. So people do pay us for this, but this in particular. Okay. All right, Slayer Darth. So let's say, well, let's calm down here for a sec. So you have x to the 2y. Make sure I'm not screwing this up. Plus xy squared. No, you have x squared y. X squared y plus xy squared. And you're dividing that by y squared plus 2/5 xy. Slayer Darth, do I have this correct? Is this the setup here? I hope we use the relevant rational symbols. Is this what I, yes, okay. All right. I would start by clearing the fractional coefficient of 2/5 by multiplying all the coefficients by 5. Okay, so you multiply the top and bottom by 5. I see what you're saying. I'm picking up what you're putting down, 5x squared y plus 5x y squared over 5y squared plus, this now becomes 2xy. Okay, good. Now we do have y's in all of our terms. We have a y in everything, so we can take a y out of everything, and that will get us going as well. So this should become 5, and I presume I would need to solve for a quadratic. Well, you can't solve this because this is not an equation. You just gave me an expression to simplify. Is it equal to anything? I'm not exactly sure. If you only give me an expression, you can't solve it. So you take a y out of everything. You have 5x squared plus 5xy over 5y, my voice is cracking, plus 2x. I don't think I can simplify it any more than that. Yeah, I think you're done at that point. So I just separate the common factor. Yeah, that's it. You can write out, there's no more factors that will simplify, but you can say 5x times x plus y if you want. And then down here, there's no simplification you can make. So we have 5y plus 2x. 5x squared plus 5xy, yeah. Yeah, that's all you can do. So you got DFG, a cube has a surface area of 54 square meters. What is its volume? Well, DFG, a cube has 6 surfaces, which are all squares. So if you think about just one of these squares, so I can just relate the law of exponents. Never mind. Figured it out. Okay, you figured it out. By dividing the y's? Well, no, I took a y out of everything. I factored a y out of everything. It wasn't a law of exponents situation, because that would mean, like, I think you're thinking of something like this. Well, I suppose that right there is an exponent property. Figured it out. Levi.
Yes.
DFG is telling you to check Discord. Slayer, if you factor y out of everything, you're going to get this. Y times 5x squared plus 5x y over y times 5y plus 2x. Because the top and bottom both have a y, we can just cancel those out. I see. Yeah. Yeah. It's almost like, you can multiply the top and bottom by 2 over 2, which keeps the value of the fraction intact. Same thing, you can multiply by 1 over y over 1 over y, which is essentially you're dividing the top and bottom by y. So it's like you're doing this. I guess you actually want to think about it like this. Either way, yeah, y's come out of both of them.
Okay, there's a meme question. Hey, meme, are you here? DFG, I will do your question next. Is this just a DFG thing?
This was Slayer Darth.
Okay. Let me just knock out the meme question. Meme, are you here?
Slayer Darth, I'm not sure what you mean by
Yes.
trial and error. Make sure they result in the expressions. Like this here would not ever get back here because we took a y out of everything. There was a y that was canceled. Good. Okay.
I did this question recently.
Well, you will do it again.
Okay, you're getting blocked, Brady.
Hey.
Okay, and then let's put you in the queue. DFG was that? Yeah, DFG. Okay, so this question. This question is very much helped by you graphing stuff. So in the plane, in the xy plane, so normal xy plane, the graph of a linear equation of the form y equals mx plus b, so just a line, and the graph of an exponential equation of the form y equals ab to the x power, which means you go like that, okay? Both contain those points, 1, 3, and 2, 4. So I'm going to graph that. This really only requires the first quadrant. So we have the point 1, 3, 2, 4. So 1, 2, 3. Let's make that a little higher. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm making this as clear as I possibly can. So 1 and 3 is there. 2 and 4 is there. They both contain those points, right? So if we have, let's do yellow, y equals mx plus b. That's our linear equation. So that'll just go through these 2 points, right? That's our line here. And then, so Brady, did you get the confirm thing from Slayer Darth? Did you see that comment?
On what, Discord or?
No, on the chat.
Saying what?
So Brady, just to confirm, you separate the most common factor?
Yeah,
Okay.
and then cancel them out if they are,
Alright.
they match.
All right, so we have the linear line, that's the easy one. And then we have a second equation, which is exponential, in the form of a times b to the x power. So that means as x grows, of course your y will be growing, especially in the first quadrant. So if you have a, it doesn't really matter what a is. Did they tell us what a and b are? No, they don't, but you have to assume that a is positive because if we're here and then here, when x grows from 1 to 2, that means our y must be growing because it has to go through those 2 points. So we have an exponential function that we don't know what it's going to look like over here, but it goes like that, it goes up and through, like that, okay? This is our exponential y equals ab to the x power. So the blue is that exponential. Now that's super important. This is why drawing this is so, like, I would say you could feasibly figure this out maybe if you don't draw it, but drawing it is the way they expect. So they both contain these 2 points. Great. And now we've just drawn them going through those 2 points. If the point RS is on the graph of the linear equation, and the point RT is on the graph of the exponential equation, where R is between 0 and 4. Okay, so R is some x value here, or whatever. No, they don't give us B and A, but we can find them. Yes, you could feasibly plug in for A and B. You don't have to. I'm going to show you why. So you have this point RS and this point RT, which means that R has to be the same value, right? Because R is just an x value. So R is going to be somewhere along the x-axis, and then it points up and you'll get a point on both of these functions. And they say that S, which is the value, the y value for the linear function, as they say in this line here, RS, that point is above RT because S is greater than T that they tell us at the bottom here. Why is the exponential equation not flipped? You mean why doesn't it go something like that, although up there? Is that what you're asking? Because it feasibly could be. Is that what you're asking? I hope we're not lagging too much, or I hope meme is not lagging too much. Please, is that one the one that I just drew and then erased? Is that what you're wondering? Or why is it not going this way or something? Okay, so I don't actually know, but I do know that it has to go through these 2 points. So how can I draw a function that's exponential? You can't. So I'm not sure exactly what any of the points are except for those 2. So if you have 2 points like this for an exponential function, there's only one way to draw that exponential to go through those 2 points in that orientation. It'll have to be like that, right? You can't have something going down. That doesn't work. You can't have something going this way because you can't get that one and that one. So you have to be increasing. There's a lag. I'm sorry. Why is there such a lag? Could you check on my computer, see how many seconds we're losing? Does that make everybody happy? You can also plug in and solve for x, I think. Yeah, and you'd have a system. Super laggy. Okay, so I'm gonna move on and see if you guys respond. For me, it's like, that's not bad, right? That's pretty darn good. 2.72 broadcaster or from? Like after me, I assume you're saying? Okay, anyway, I hope that clears it up. Please let me know if it doesn't. Do you want me to, I can show using a system. I assume you can, yeah. Let me just do that quickly-ish. I'll do it here. So we have 3 equals ab to the first. So just 3 equals a times b, so that's easy. Let's just leave it like that. And then we have 4 equals ab squared. So let's solve for a here. This guy gives us that a equals 3 over b, right? So let's plug that in, and we get 4 equals 3 over b times b squared. So that means that we have 4 equals 3b, because the squared and the b cancel. And then we get b equals 4/3. That means that if a equals 3 over 4b, that means you get a equals here in the moment, not necessarily. A equals 3 over b, so that's 3 over 4/3, which is 3 times 3/4, which is 9 over 4. So that's a, and that's b.
Here in the moment.
So they're both positive and greater than 1.
Oh.
But you don't have to do, so you know they're both positive, so it is sloping up.
Here in the moment, pre-calc is what's tested on Math 2. So it depends on how well you did pre-calc. Like, as long as you pass the course, you'll be in Calc 1. It doesn't mean you like totally mastered pre-calc.
Yeah, we would recommend checking back, because you haven't done pre-calc in a while, and if you have Math 2 coming up, you should definitely revisit those topics.
Find a Math 2 practice test online and take it.
Yeah.
And if you're interested in some private tutoring, we know some guys you could contact.
Yeah, but we won't tell you their names.
Yeah, it's against the rules.
Okay.
Yes.
Cool. Let me finish this guy up. So that's cleared up for the most part. Wow, that was lackluster spritz. Okay, so now we're dealing with this RSRT business. And we know that S has to be greater than T, which means that the point on the linear function has to be higher up than the point on the exponential function. Wait, I got B is 4/9, but I don't know why. So, crap, I just erased it, but am I allowed to say crap?
No, I don't think you can say crap.
Okay. I tried, and every time I say crap, it just gets caught in my throat. Nobody hears it. I don't know why you got 4/9 for B. Yeah, so do you want me to do it again? Why don't you work through it one more time here in the DFG while I do the rest of this, because then I can get this done and then we can revisit that system. Okay. So now we have this point RT and we have this point RS. S has to be greater than T, which means the Y. So that means the point has to be. We're going to have a point at the same X value. So we could have points feasibly here and here, right? But that's not going to work because if this is RS and this is RT, we don't have. Sorry, that would be wrong. That would be wrong. That would be wrong. The RS and the RS is on the linear function, so that would be S and that would be T, right? But that can't happen because they say at the very end here that S has to be greater than T. So where would these points cross? They would be here. So this is the only place, anywhere on here in this interval. You'd have RS here, so that's no good. And you'd have RT there. So therefore, this interval would be 1 to 2. It would have to be B, between 1 and 2 exclusive. Please let me know if you have any questions on that. I will start redoing the system of equations. Okay, so DFG, you got 4/9, you don't know why, because 3 over A equals B. That's true. So we do have these two things here. We have the equations that we built are 3 equals AB, and then we have 4 equals AB squared. And you said that B equals 3A from here. That's true. Sorry, 3 over A. B equals 3 over A. And then you say that, hi, Kuz. Kuz, you could feasibly just keep taking the SAT for the rest of your life until you got a 1500. So it's not your last shot, necessarily. So I hope that comment helped. Now, we have that, and then your next line, DFG, you said, so B squared equals 4 over A. B squared equals 4 over A. That's true. You're taking this guy and you're dividing by A. So you get 4 over A equals B squared. Okay, so you've done that. And then you say, so 3A over 3A equals 4 over A. Yes, you plugged in this thing here for this B squared. So you get 4 over A equals 3 over A quantity squared. Sure. Meme, are you happy with this? Can you let me know if you feel good about this, since this was your original question? Now here, you said that you got 4 over 9 or something like that. Okay, let's just make sure. So you say, so we have 4 over A on the left side, and that will be equal to 9 over A squared. And then the A should cancel out with the squared here, and then let's divide by A. So be very careful. What I think you may have done here is you may have said, okay, let's divide both sides by 9, right, to get rid of that 9. And then you get 4 over 9, so that's right. But that does not equal A. It equals 1 over A. Your A is in the denominator. So from here, you have to flip. You can't see this, can you? Gosh darn it. Sorry. Good, I'm glad, Meme. So we can move on right after I finish this. So you get 4/9 equals 1 over A. That's true, but it doesn't mean that A equals 4/9. It means that A equals 9/4. So that's a very important distinction. That's one of the reasons why I always say if you have your variable you're trying to isolate in the denominator, get it out. That should be your first thing that you're doing. Get A out of the denominator, combine all your A terms. If you can't combine all your A terms, factor. How you feeling about this, DFG? Does this make sense? I hope you are watching and you didn't take a break, because otherwise I wasted my time. And everybody else's. Use number 2 pencils. Okay, thank you, DFG. Very good. Let's move on to your question, right? You had a question you sent me. Yes, okay. Let me pull that up. All right. Bird.
Yes. Got a question for me?
Yeah, I do. Let me go to the first one here. Ooh, this is fun. We're doing some exponent work this evening, Brady.
I'd like that.
Yeah?
Yes.
You would, wouldn't you? Okay, you're up, Bird. Get your tuchus over here.
My tuchus is over here. An exponential function f is defined as f of t equals b to the t power, where b is a constant greater than 1 if f of 8 equals 16 times f of 6. What is the value of b? Oh, that's interesting. That is interesting. Okay, if b is greater than 1, which means this thing is exponentially increasing, not decaying. That's something to think about. F of t is equal to b to the t. So the question is, what is b? F of 8 would be equal to 16 times f of 6. All right, well, f of 8 could also be thought of in this context, which is b to the 8th power. So I'm going to write it like that. B to the 8th power is equal to 16 times, now f of 6 could be thought of in this context as well as b to the 6th power. The question is, can we use this to find what b is, which, yes, we can. Divide both sides by b to the 6th. We have b to the 8th over b to the 6th is equal to 16. Exponent rules. Subtract b squared is equal to 16. Square root of both sides, you get b is equal to plus or minus 4. But remember, they said that it's greater than 1, so it can only be positive 4. The other streams tomorrow night?
Yeah,
yes,
baby.
we are.
Are you?
Yes, we are. I got a calc test I need to study for tomorrow. We'll go study for that calc test, Mish. Make sure you got your derivatives all ready to derive.
Keep your derivatives in a row.
If you pre-derive them, yeah. Thank you.
Brady just tutored a child.
I tutored 2 children, and I have 1 more after this. That's what I'm doing, but I got SAT on Saturday. Hey, that's my definition of a great weekend. Calc test on Friday, SAT on Saturday.
Woo!
Chores on Sunday. And on Monday, you go back to school, and it starts over again.
Yeah.
I miss those days.
You're done with this one?
Yeah, I think so. What do you think?
Oh, I think you are too.
Very good.
Ooh, gross.
I don't know.
The sentence would most logically be placed. Okay. This is a sentence ordering question. I'm just going to go to the paragraph here. And we'll just make up answers. I don't know what actually the options are. This is not the clearest of things. But oh well. Okay, so we're doing, at the end here, you see number 42, sentence. Number 42 is at the end of that sentence, so that is a sentence. Sentence 6, we are trying to put somewhere else in this paragraph, okay? So we're saying reorder sentence 6? That's what we're doing. Okay, so sentence 6 right here is, okay, so also the approach here is super important. We try to, so first of all, we've seen many of these questions before.
We really have.
Yeah. I haven't seen this one, I don't think. But we take the same approach. Don't say anything. We take the same approach every single time.
Crunchy grain.
We take the same approach every time. And that is a proven approach. So the approach I'm going to take here and talk about, that's the most important thing you need to get from this question. This question you will not see, so don't worry about it. But the question type you will. So you have to be very worried about it.
You tell them it's our proprietary approach.
Good luck, Mish. Yeah, this is our proprietary approach.
Yeah, we proprietaried it, so you can't proprietary it from us.
Yes. I used 1 transition words and 2 of the sentence breaks the flow of the sentence orders. But I was shocked. DFG was shocked. You'll be shocked with the answer to this SAT question.
Yeah, I want to click on that.
Okay, well, yes. Transition words is a good thing to look for, and look for other clues. So we have, in fact, that record was shattered. At 1:21 p.m., the station recorded a new world record wind speed of 231 miles per hour. So we do have in fact, which isn't the greatest of transition words. I wouldn't start the paragraph that way. Or I wouldn't start a passage that way. I think another thing that helps is it says that record, right? That record was shattered. So that means we need a record before this one, right? So that has to come first. The station recorded a new world record wind speed of 231 miles an hour. So we can't talk about this new world record until we have this sentence, because this is clearly introducing that new world record. So let's see. And then breaking the flow, yes. So that's the other thing. You want to see, okay, could this sentence work here? Seems okay. It seems to, not, we have what we need before, we have what seems to make sense after. But let's take it out and see if we've broken up that flow. One of the specific things to breaking up flow is, do we have pronouns or references in that following sentence that need to reference something in the given previous sentence, not in the one that we're trying to shove in there. If we're trying to shove a sentence in there and then now we have messed up references, we have ambiguous antecedents and our sentence shouldn't go there. So we need to get an original world record wind speed. So let's start reading. As the wind speed rose to 136 miles per hour, the researchers wondered whether the intensifying winds would reach record speeds. Okay, we haven't gotten there yet. At 4 a.m. on April 12th, one researcher, whoever, woke from a short nap to find that the reading had fallen to 105. Stevenson could tell from the noise outside that the wind had gotten stronger while he was asleep, and he reasoned that the despite its improved design, was not working properly. He put on his winter gear, picked up a club used for dislodging ice, and opened the door to go outside. Back inside,
Anemometer.
Anemones?
Anemone.
Yeah. Back inside, his efforts, he learned, had been successful. The readings now showed that the wind speed was approaching the previous site record of 164 miles per hour. In fact, that record was shattered at 1:21 p.m. So, yeah, there is the chronology of time, but be careful of that because he's waking up at night. Yeah, I think it would... My guess is it goes where it needs to go because we don't actually reference a world record. We have to reference a world record, okay? At the beginning in sentence 1, we talk, it could reach world record speeds. But we don't actually have, that's the record. We have that down here in sentence 5. Back inside, he learned he'd been successful. The readings now showed that the wind speed was approaching the previous site record of 164 miles per hour. The answer is after sentence 4. That's strange. He put on his winter gear, picked up a club used for dislodging ice, and opened the door to go outside. In fact, that record was shattered at 120. That doesn't make any sense. Yeah, okay, then don't listen. That's absolutely ridiculous. To say that record was, you have to be referring to a record wherever this is from doesn't make any sense to me. Unless this is an official thing. I really don't get this at all. Honestly, the international tests are garbage. I think that is a very ambiguous antecedent to say. That record, it's too far. Now, to be fair, after sentence 5, we have a site record, which is very misleading. What? Yeah, this is garbage. I wouldn't worry about it. That's really bad. It's a really bad question. So don't worry about that. As long as you take it sounds like you took the right approach. You got the same answer as me, so I have nothing to recommend for you, aside from keep doing what you're doing. All right, let's do one of these. Oh, no, we have some other stuff. DFG, we're going to take a break. Ooh, Lenify. Hi, Lenify. What's up? Wait, did we do this meme question? No, we have not. Whoa, this is nice and zoomed in. Ooh, Bird, you want to do this one?
Yes.
You like this one.
Yes.
Don't say yes again. I knew it was going to happen. I knew it. Go ahead, Bird. Take it away.
Very good.
Yeah, DFG, we're going to get back to your questions, but we're going to bounce back and forth.
Okay. Which of the following binomial says x plus 1 is a factor? That, or that. You must understand the connection between factors, roots, intercepts, zeros, and solutions. 4 of those things I just said are the same thing. If factor is x plus 1, that inadvertently, or rather advertently, tells us that negative 1 is a solution, also known as a root, or a zero, or an x-intercept. These are the numbers you plug into a polynomial that give you an output of 0. So, negative 1, we would have negative 1 to the 20th plus 1 needs to equal 0. Negative 1 to the 50th plus 1 equals 0. Negative 1 to the 1/30th plus 1 is equal to 0. We're seeing which one of these is true. And negative 1 to the 225th plus 1 equals 0. Okay? All of these will be algebraically solved the same way, which is we're going to subtract 1 from all sides. What that's going to mean here is the only way for this to work is for this term here to be negative 1. These need to be negative 1. If these are negative 1, then when you add 1, the sum will be 0. So which one of those is going to be negative 1? Well, it comes down to the exponents. Negative 1 to the 20th power. 20 is an even number. If you take a negative to an even power, it will end up being positive, as I will show you right here. Negative 2 squared means negative 2 times negative 2, which is positive 4. It is now positive. Negative 2 cubed, taken to an odd power. Negative 2 times negative 2 times negative 2, negative 8. It keeps switching back and forth from positive to negative. So negative 1 to the 20th is going to become positive, meaning this is positive 1 plus positive 1, which we know is 2, not 0. Nice try. Same thing with the 50th. Same thing with the 1/30th. This is the only odd number, 225. You take negative 1 to the 225th power, you'll eventually land right back at negative 1. Negative 1 plus 1 equals 0. This right here is your answer. This is not. This is not. The answer is D. Okay? If you know a factor, you know a solution. A solution is an x value that you plug in that gives you an output of 0. That whatever I just said, you need to internalize that. Make that part of your brain as you eat your crunchy, crunchy grain, which is a pretty solid cereal. Very good. Very good. Don't forget that, everyone. See, if you forget it, I will come and find you. I will make sure you remember it for the rest of your days using our proprietary tutoring technology. Oh, Levi, you know what I should go get?
No.
Was that a song?
Yes?
No?
What?
Should I get rid of reorder sentence 6?
Yes.
All right.
Okay. We have a Lenify question. Lenify, can you say hello?
Not Koozie, you got any words of inspiration for Saturday? Yes, we do.
Make your sound of inspiration, Brady.
Well, see, that's what I need to go get my
Oh,
I'll be right back.
Oh my gosh. Lenify, I'm sorry, it took a while. 8:05. Okay, it hasn't been that long. If you say hi, Lenify, then I can do your question. Otherwise, I'm gonna hold off until you say hi. So if you don't say hi, no question for you. But we'll probably go back to DFG stuff now, unless somebody else has slipped in a question before. So Brady's coming with your hi and Lenify. Lenify's on YouTube, everybody. Okay. Zane, hello. Cool. Okay, we'll do a Lenify question. We'll do one more DFG question. We'll do some, oh my goodness, very nice. F, I assume Zane, that's you? Zane, I assume you're F, whatever. Okay, we got this situation here. This is a classic problem.
They still need a sound of inspiration for Saturday?
Probably. All right, we're going to take a break for some inspiration.
Not Koozie. What are your thoughts on this?
Do it right there. This might be loud. It won't be.
Is that your sound? Does that inspire you? It's like duh, boing. Isn't that fun?
Yes. Koozie liked it.
Koozie, you're inspired now.
What
the fun?
to...
Should I stop?
That's so great.
Am I making this about me?
Are you making this about you? No,
Yeah.
You're not. Stay down there. All right, get out of here.
Oh.
All right, so we got this situation here in the figure above. Point O is the center of the circle. Awesome. Line segments LM and MN are tangent. Okay, I'm going to draw this for us. So we have this circle, and got a tangent line, and we got another tangent line, right? And they meet right there. Great, that's not perfect. Let me just make this a little bit smaller. I'm going to drop this away. We don't really need that. Okay. Please. All right, so we have point M here. This is 60 degrees. Hopefully, I don't have to come back to this stream every month, not because I don't like you guys. It's because I need a serious break from the SAT. Yeah. I mean, you could also continue watching us or not. I mean, we're actually finishing streaming forever right now. Wait, do one more time. Okay. All right, yeah, take a break if you need to, for sure. Okay, so we have 60 degrees here. This is L here. This is center O.
L for Levi.
L for Levi, and N for Brady. So the other information we have is that these two lines are tangent to the circle, which means at the radius that hits them, we have right angles. So let's draw those guys in. Now, they say the segments intersect at point M out here. Great. If the circumference of the circle is 96, so C equals 96, what is the length of minor arc LN? Okay, minor arc LN is that portion of the circle right there. Yeah? Okay, oh no, we do need the 96, but we'll get to that later. So this has to do with sector ratios, okay? We need to figure out what this angle measure is. If we can figure out what the angle measure is of angle LON, then we're golden. So how can we do that? You could split this up into two right triangles. People might be more comfortable, but also keep in mind that the angles in a quadrilateral, so this quadrilateral LONM, MNO, whatever, LMNO, LMNO, yeah, that's the alphabet, yes. Whatever. This quadrilateral here, all those angles have to add up to 360 degrees. We have 60, we have 180, so this needs to be 120 degrees. From there, let me just make sure. Roby, are you here? Am I correct? Did I mess up my math? I think I'm right. So that's 120 degrees, which means it is 1/3 of the circle, or you can set up, now you can set up a sector proportion. So we have, let's see, we want this value of LM, of the length of LN. So that's, let's call that X, and that's over 120 degrees equals, we have the whole circle is 96 units, and the degrees of the whole circle are 360 degrees. So if we do the math here, I think we're going to get that X equals 32. I think that's our answer. Lenify, how do you feel about this? And anybody else? Does anybody not feel comfortable with this situation here? Dang it. Where'd it go? I guess it's gone.
What's gone?
Oy. Cool. Good job, Zane. Lenify. Come on. Come on. Okay. Well, before Lenify or until Lenify responds, meme, great. I don't know what that means because I can't see it. Is that a dab emoji? Is that what that is? Or whatever you call them on Twitch. All right, let's do Meme, you said DFG's question. Oh, DFG sent you a question, you're saying? This situation here? How do you get the 120 again? Ah, sorry. How did I get the 120? Okay, so here we have a quadrilateral LMNO, right? This guy here. The angles in a quadrilateral have to add up to 360 degrees. Angles in a triangle add up to 180. Quadrilateral is 360. There's a formula for that, which is n, which is the number of sides. So n equals number of sides of a polygon. And the sum of interior angles equals n minus 2 times 180. That's the thing. Can you tell me how you set up the ratio step by step because I'm lost? Heck yes. So, also when you ask questions in the future, you can interrupt me as I go. So this sector proportion here, what you're doing is you're saying, okay, well, as the angle of this grows, right? As that 120 degrees becomes 180 degrees or 270 degrees or whatever it is, or it drops down to 90, the length of arc LN will grow or shrink proportionally, right? It is his question. Okay, thank you, Meme. So that means, so let's do in a different example. Let's say we have a circle, and this works for areas too. So you can do areas or arc lengths, it doesn't matter. So this is the center, that's a diameter I just drew. It's also a Pokeball. If we know that the circumference is, let's say, 58 centimeters, doesn't really matter. What is the length of arc AB, this thing here? What is the length of that? Obviously, it's going to be 29 centimeters, right? It's half of the circumference of the circle, so it's got to be 29. But technically, what you just did is you said, I don't know the arc length of AB, so let's do that over 180 degrees here equals the whole thing, which is 58 centimeters, over all the degrees, 360 degrees. So the proportion that you can pull from this, the generalized formula, let's do this color, will be, we have, and you can have it set up a couple of different ways, but we have arc length over theta. Theta being, I'll draw you a circle here. If we have some random sector, doesn't matter how big, theta, okay? And then we have arc AB, arc length of AB, whatever, will be the circumference, arc length over theta will equal circumference over 360 degrees, right? If you're using degrees. If you're using radians, then it would be 2 pi here, and then you'd be solving for theta in terms of radians, okay? So there's that. You could also say that instead of circumference over, you could have the sector. Also, just to clarify, this is the arc length created by this theta. So it's not this arc length just right here, right? It would have to be the arc length created by the theta. If you wanted this arc length here and you wanted to make a ratio, it would have to be that theta 1 over there. Okay, I hope that makes sense. Lenify, please let me know if that doesn't make sense. Anybody else? This is actually very important. You will get this on the SAT. This will be there. Maybe something is different. Maybe you know the arc length, you know the theta, but you don't know the circumference, and they're asking you for it. So you have to find it. All right, that's better. What if you solved the original by dropping an altitude? Here, let me finish this up real quick. There's no altitude because you need a triangle for an altitude. We don't have a triangle here. But you can draw in a line there, right? And that's a bisector of this, so this is now 30 degrees, and this is 30 degrees, which makes this 60 and 60 because you know that they add up to 180, and now you have the same situation. So this would be sector area over theta equals the area of the circle over 360 degrees. So these two things are, I think, one of the most important things to pull away from this question. There are more basic things. If you must know that 180 is the sum of the interior angles of a triangle, 360 sum of the interior angles of a quadrilateral. That's much less important, but still good to know. Tangent lines to circles create 90 degrees with the radii, or the radius at that point. These are the sector ratios here. These can get harder than this question, for sure. This is pretty challenging because you have several different things packaged together, but you could maybe get the radius, but you don't know that. So you can find the area, but now you need to find the sector area. Maybe you know the sector area, you need to find the area. Maybe they give you the sector area and you need to find the radius, so then you have to find the area and then work backwards to find the radius. Lots of things that they can do there. But if you're dealing with sectors, anytime they set up a sector, you're dealing with the theta of that sector, and you have arc lengths or areas of that sector. Set up a proportion, see what you can plug in and what you can solve for. Okay, looks like we're good there. Let us move on. Brady, can you help me erase? Or I will erase while you do the next question.
I would like that. I like it very much.
Okay, Zane, we're going to do a U question real quick, and then we'll hop back to you, Meme. And then we'll do a DFG question, and then we'll do another Zane question, I guess. Or other stuff if other stuff comes in.
Give me your question, Nave.
Yeah, there we go.
Do you want the answer choices or no?
No. Let's erase this stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Square root of x minus 3 is equal to 3 minus the square root of x. If x is a solution to the equation above, what is the value of the square root of x minus 3?
Ooh. Interesting. Saucy. This is a saucy problem. Well, I'll tell you what I would do.
It's quite saucy, my lord.
I would say that algebraically this would be fun to solve. I do think actually plugging in the answers would be better.
I knew you would say that, my lord.
Yeah.
Oops.
Let's see those answers, huh?
My apologies, my lord.
Bring them out. Okay. So naturally I want to try A and D first because if it's just a whole number, it'd be a lot easier to deal with. However, we're definitely going to have some problems. So if we look at A, we put 1 in. The left side is going to be the square root of 1 minus 3, which would give us a negative number on the inside. Square root of negative 2, which we cannot do.
Careful, careful. You're finding the value of rad x minus 3? Not of x. So plugging in is going to be kind of difficult.
Sorry, you're right. Levi's right. Good catch. All right, so the value of the square root of x minus 3 is equal to 1.
Ow. Ow.
So if that's the case, then x minus 3, we'd square both sides, we just get equal to 1, so x would be equal to 4. So let's try that out. So we already know that the left side would be, oh, is this going to work? We'll see. The left side is going to be equal to 1, because they told us that. That's what a means, is the left side is equal to 1, and we have 3 minus the square root of x, which is 4. That's what x was in this case. We have 1 is equal to 3 minus 2, which is in fact equal to 1. So I would say that looks like it's the 1. Let's just see what happens when we use 3, but it shouldn't work because we already found one that does work. So if the square root of x minus 3 is equal to 3, square both sides, x minus 3 is equal to 9. Add the 3, x is equal to 12. That's going to be kind of messy. So we would have 3, which is what's on the left side, is equal to 3 minus the square root of 12. Only thing this could be is 0. 3 minus 0 is 3, and it's clearly not 0 because it's the square root of 12, so that is off of the books. Now you're probably wondering, if you were not given the answers, how you could do this. And I'll show you. It involves a lot of fancy math, hand-waving, and squaring and square rooting. But eventually you're going to get there. Just might be a little rocky on your way there. It's got some switchbacks, some twists and turns, the occasional falling boulder, but you'll get there in one piece. As far as your friends and family, though, you'd have to square both sides to start. Square both sides to start.
Oh,
you
you're
get
not
x minus 3 is equal to, now this is the hard part, you square an entire side. We're going to square 3 minus the absolute value of x. We can't just selectively square them. We're going to have to FOIL this out. It's going to give us x minus 3 is equal to 9 minus 6, the square root of x, plus x. We still have a square root. We have to get rid of that. In order to do that, we have to solve for it and then square it. So what's nice is that plus x and plus x cancel out. So these are gone. Let's move the 9 over by subtracting it. So we're going to get negative 12 is equal to negative 6. This is actually not going to be bad at all. Divide by negative 6, we get 2 is equal to the square root of x, square both sides, and you get x equals 4. Plug 4 in, and that's how you get the square root of x minus 3, which will give you 1. Actually, I found that very pleasing. That cancellation was clutch. Clutch cancellation. Levi, that is all I have.
Yes, my lord.
Do we have any questions on our Discord?
Yeah.
Ah. All right, so that was F. That the person's name was F that posted that.
I think that was Zane. Zane, does that make sense?
Dirty do.
Ooh, let's do it. Let's do a shirty do.
We just did an F question.
Yeah.
Surety do.
Can I do this one?
Yeah.
Yes.
Can you cut off the triangle? I'll draw my own.
Are you sure?
I'll do it myself.
Do you remember?
Yeah, it's on this screen here.
All right.
So we got that. We got an A. We got
I see
a
what you're saying. Okay.
B. We got an X degrees here. We got a C. And it's not drawn to scale. Who's shirty do in chat? Are you in chat somewhere? Oh, X equals 60. Okay, well then. Alright, you know what? Whatever.
You're fine.
We'll do that later. Right triangle. So we know that this is 60 degrees here. So that means this must be 30 degrees. Yeah? So, looks like we have a 30, 60, 90 triangle. What is the length of AB? Oh, we need a 4.
We need a 4.
Okay. This is a 30, 60, 90 triangle, so
Just finish it.
what's nice, this is at the beginning of every math section, so you'll have this ratio. So this is going to be 8 always, and this will be 4 rad 3.
Well, it's not 8 always. It's just double whatever.
Every hypotenuse is 8 always.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't
Show
know
me your
that.
triangle. Show me your triangle. 8.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
There you go. So, what is the length of AB? It's 8. Yeah, so the answer is B.
Well,
Yeah.
you probably should explain what the pattern is here.
Well, it's on the test.
Yeah, I mean, they might not have the test in front of them right now.
Okay, so everybody must know, and to look at the beginning of every math section, they have some things there, like the area of circle, circumference of circle, triangle height, or triangle area, things like that.
Well, they might not
They also
know
have
exactly
these things.
what this means.
Well, they're not asked. Yeah, okay, if you don't know what this means, please ask. But otherwise, we're going to move on.
Getting testy.
No, but nobody's asked a question in a while, so
It's not true. Lenify just put that a couple minutes ago.
that was last stream.
No, it wasn't.
It was.
No, it
It
wasn't.
was.
Don't be like that.
Did we?
Are we fighting? Is this it? You know, if we split up, it's because of Lenify. It's Lenify's fault.
Yeah.
As long as Lenify knows that.
Lenify came between us. All right. It seems like this is okay unless our chat's not working, which is feasible.
If you're watching,
Okay, let's
go back.
let's do
Another F question.
no DFG's question. Go to my my personal messages, and it'll be the last one there.
Why isn't DFG
Probably not to get banned or something.
here?
Yeah. You want to do this one?
Sure.
Very nice.
There we go.
Saucy boy, hi. Why 2 viewers? On YouTube, we don't have so many viewers. Most people are on Twitch. Not that we have that many viewers on Twitch, but
Have we had Saucy Boy? Do you recognize Saucy Boy?
don't. Do you?
Yeah, I do.
You do?
Yeah.
That wasn't big enough. Do you?
Have we had Saucy Boy before? Anyway, hey, to earn money for college, Avery works 2 part-time jobs because Avery is a go-getter. She's gonna go get her. A and B. Those are her 2 jobs. She earns $10 per hour working at job A and $20 per hour working at job B. Oh, I'll tell you which job pays more. It's job B. In 1 week, Avery earned a total of S dollars for working at the 2 part-time jobs. The graph above represents all possible combinations of numbers of hours Avery could have worked at the 2 jobs to earn S dollars. What is the value? Oh my gosh. What is the value of S? Oh, interesting. Okay. So this is kind of related to economics because you have a limited amount of time and you can either devote all your resources doing one thing, doing another thing, or you can divert some of your resources doing one thing and some of them doing the other. So you got like 2 extremes and then a bunch of in-between space, which is what she can do. So she can work 16 hours at job A exclusively with no hours at job B, or she can work 6, 7, it looks like 8 hours at job B exclusively with none at job A, or she can be anywhere in between. Now she could be on the line, she can't be over the line, because then she's working too many hours. She doesn't have that many hours. But she can be underneath the line. If she wants to work 0 hours at both jobs, she could. So it's that triangle is the kind of possibility space. She can be anywhere inside that triangle or on the sides of that triangle. Anyway, let me think about this for a sec. She earned a total of S dollars. The graph above represents all possible combination of numbers of hours. 2 jobs, 20. What is the value of S? You know, I'm kind of interested here. It doesn't tell us how many hours she actually worked. What does this say? Okay, so what I'm guessing here is some of these possibilities are not doable in 1 week. So let's test the extremes here. If she worked all of her time at job A, that's 16 hours at job A, and at A she makes $10 an hour. So A, we have $10 an hour times 16 hours, and that's going to give her $160. So that's one of the options. And then there is option B, and if she goes all in on option B, that's $20 an hour multiplied by 8 hours. which, hey, look at that, is also $160. Okay, then she could be somewhere in the middle. And there might be a point in the middle that maximizes this, so she can actually make more than 160 if she devotes her time wisely. What is the value of S? She could have worked at 2 jobs to earn S dollars. Am I missing something? In 1 week, and this is also how much number of hours at job A, number of hours at job B, working at the 2 part-time. Well, I guess she must have worked at both jobs. That's what the question is leading me to think. What is the value of S? Now, there are some here that are just going to be impossible. And it also doesn't tell us if she devotes all of her time. I mean, I guess because they haven't shaded underneath the line, she must be somewhere on the line, is what I'm guessing. So basically, she's putting all of her time into these 2 jobs. So she can't be working somewhere inside the triangle. She's on that hypotenuse of the triangle. I'm going to have to go with that. If that's the case, 160 would be the case where she's working only 1 job. Only 1 job, only the other. So I think that would probably disqualify 160. So let's see if we can figure out what the equation of that line is. And then maybe we can use that to figure out all the different possibilities of S. Does she have a limited number of hours here?
I think
No, she
160
doesn't.
is the right answer.
Is it always 160?
Yeah. Or it's not always 160 necessarily.
Well,
but if she works 16 hours at job A, she makes $160. That's possible, right?
Yes. But it does keep saying working at the 2 part-time jobs. Now, let me just try another point here. If we're going down 8 and going over 16, our slope is -1/2. So if I go down 1 and over 2, another possibility to try here is we have 7 at B.
Yeah, the slope takes care of the difference in wage.
Does it?
Yeah.
She has to make 160.
If it's a slope of -1/2, right?
And then 2 at job A.
So every hour she drops
You're
in
right.
job B, she goes 2 hours more in job A.
You're right. You're absolutely right. You know what? You're right. 20 plus 2 times 10. 140 plus 20. Yeah, as long as she's on the curve, or that line, she'll be making 160. So that's the answer here. Interesting. Okay. Always 160, no matter what. So she should just devote her time to the job she likes more. Ah, Levi, I feel slightly nauseous. I love this feeling.
Yeah?
Yep.
Me too.
What is next? What time is it? 8:42.
All right.
Let's see, the people that ask us questions, are they still watching?
I don't know what's happening. Are you all still watching?
We're getting scared.
We're not sure who's watching. Maybe we aren't streaming for whatever reason. We're going to stop answering your questions unless you say you want us to answer your questions.
That's fair.
Because we just don't know what's going on.
Shirty do F. You want us to keep going?
We have a meme. I think we should go to Meme's question if Meme is here. Meme, if you're not here, let us know.
Do you still have Twitch open on your computer?
Yeah. It's one of those tabs. What do we got? Did we get it just...
Oh man, we got all sorts of questions.
Sorry, our chat thing is not working. So, okay, what did we miss?
Okay.
Sorry, guys. I'm sure there's a lot of stuff that we need to answer. We look so dumb, Brady.
Yeah.
Anything you need to answer?
Well, tell
Clarify?
DFG I think makes sense now. Yeah, DFG, she can't work both jobs at the max. She has a limited number of hours, so she can either... She's somewhere on that line. But that, I think DFG already gets that. Means here.
I mean, what's wrong with Restream? It's stupid. Are they saying things right now?
Yeah, means here.
Yeah, what you just said didn't come up on our Restream either.
Well, I'll look at this.
All right.
Do you want to open Restream again?
I just refreshed it. But yeah, I can open it.
Meme's question, for reading I missed the last two passages, how do I fix this problem in a couple hours? How do I fix the dis problem test in a couple hours?
Okay. Can you send another message? See how it goes. I don't know what the heck is wrong. Okay. Anyway, yeah, let's do Meme's other question from Discord.
Also, on the queue, could you put up grammar?
Grammar in general?
Yeah.
And we have an F question. We have a bunch of F questions. Okay, wait, what are we doing on this question?
Meme wants to know how SAT reading can go by faster.
Okay. Hey, Meme, yeah, I'll answer that right now, but the question you posted from the writing section, what question do you want me to do? There are 3 questions. I assume it's question 42 because you have the whole page there, but let me know. Okay, so how do you make the reading section go faster? Do you want to talk about that, Bird?
I can do that.
Okay. We can talk about it together.
Yeah. Tell Meme that he/she should be comfortable with skipping hard questions.
Be comfortable with skipping hard questions because they're hard. You don't need to do them necessarily right away. There are tons of approaches. Tonight's not necessarily the night to make an enormous change. I'm going to pull up Twitch and just open up the chat. That's what I'm going to do.
Meme, you should be excited about skipping questions. Every passage has some easy questions, some hard questions. You are not going to get all of the questions right. So if you feel like you get to a problem that's really hard and you're like, oh my gosh, if I don't get this right, I'm not going to get them all right, then you've got the wrong attitude here. This is way more about strategy, using the time that you have. So you want to get yourself to finish this test. If you speed through it and get it all done in 10 minutes, your accuracy is going to be horrendous. So clearly you don't want to get through it all in 10 minutes. But if you take your time, your accuracy will be better, but you won't finish the test, so you'll actually get to less questions. Sorry, fewer questions. Fewer questions. I'm getting better at that. So there is this sweet spot where you're moving at a pace that'll get you to finish the test, and that involves skipping questions that otherwise you would stump you, and you'd sit there and you'd think about it, and you probably will get them wrong anyway. So it's not really worth it because there are no bonus points for getting these difficult questions right. That's one thing that you can and should do. Another thing that you can and should do is leave the passage that you dislike the most for the end. For a lot of students, that's the historical passage, the one that's written in the 1700s. It's difficult to understand. That's going to psych you out. You want to be psyched out at the very end, especially if, it sounds like if you're not finishing 2 passages, if you can get yourself to the point where you're not finishing only 1 passage, that's better. And even better, let's let that 1 passage be the most difficult one, the historical passage. Because that would take you the most time anyway. So definitely do that one last. If there's a different passage that you find you dislike a lot, like maybe the science passage you don't understand that well, leave that one till the end. You got some strategies there. Let's see. 2-part questions. Make sure to let the evidence of the second question guide where you're looking to answer the first question. You don't want to do them separately because they're supposed to be done together at the same time. I'm going to go check the chat because I haven't seen the chat in a while.
Yep. Anything?
Do we suggest not reading the passage first? Okay, we got a question. Do we suggest not reading the passage first? Personally, I like to read the passage first. Levi, what are your thoughts?
I like reading the passage first too, but on the history passage specifically, it might not be a bad idea to read some of the questions or all the questions first. Just glance at them, and wow, I've just got so annoyed that you yawned there.
What? Sometimes I find the things you say very boring.
Okay, and so if you read the questions, then they will tell you what is in the passage, right? Don't read the answer choices because most of them are wrong, so it's going to be misleading. Read the questions and they'll say, what does the author say about this idea? Well, now you know that you're going to be reading about that idea, so at least you've already begun to build a structure. It would take 20 seconds, 30 seconds tops to read those questions, and now you actually have them in your head. You don't have to answer them as you read necessarily, although that is another strategy. But you can then, you know that structure going in. Also read the blurb at the top of the passage so you know that, and then you start building your understanding.
Can I lodge a complaint? You, like, I spend a lot of time with you, and for a lot of it, you're talking about test prep. And frankly, it annoys me.
Yeah.
You're like, obsessed with it.
Yes.
Like, what's with
I
that?
love it.
Do you?
I love it more than I love you.
You have to choose one or the other. You can't have both.
You know, if you make an ultimatum, you're going to be the one who loses out.
You can either work 16 hours at job A or 8 hours at job B.
Well, I'm going to choose 16 at both, so I don't have to spend time with you. Except you probably work both of those jobs too.
Yeah, so we'll see each other then.
Yeah, I guess we will. What else we got in chat? What the heck is going on?
Okay, any advice on how many times and when you should take the SAT? Should we read the whole writing passage? Yes, damn. People are commenting on this. I didn't remember I said a test practice test. Hey, that's good. Okay, how many times and when you should take the SAT? All right, there is no specific season or date that is better than others. There's some rumors that if you take it in the fall, you're up against the seniors. The curve won't be as friendly. That's nonsense. They don't calculate the curve based on who took it. It's not like they don't know what the curve is going to be, and then everyone takes the test, and then they adjust you according to that. Because that would be unfair, because then, yeah, it would be harder because you got a bunch of seniors taking it in the fall, and they've had more math than you. So they don't do that. They standardize the test, meaning they create what the curve is going to be before the test is administered. How do they do that? It's some process where they give sample questions to students and figure out how many students get certain ones. I don't know. It's statistical, and it's complicated. And apparently they're not doing a very good job of it because there's been a lot of crazy curves in the past couple tests. But it does not matter what time of year you take the SAT. As far as how many times you should take it, certain schools require that you send in all your test scores, other schools don't. No one takes the test once. So you should take it multiple times if you're really serious about improving your score. I would say, oh geez, Levi, what would you say the max is? Like, don't take it more than like this number of times. What is it?
Yeah.
I think like 5.
Oh yeah.
What?
What are you talking about?
Don't take the test more than most students don't take the test 5 times. I would say don't take it more than
5 is a
times.
lot.
5's a lot. Yeah, you should be aiming more for like 3.
Yeah.
Ish.
If you take it 7 times, you become a tutor immediately.
Yeah, which might be what you want, might not be.
Yeah.
That's what happened to Levi.
Yep.
I chose this willingly. Tutoring was thrust upon him.
Yep. Why is this being a problem?
What are we doing?
I'm trying to get the pop-out chat. Pop-out chat is more than a pop-out chat.
Are they joking? No. Levi, can you check Discord?
Can you figure? Wasn't it we did chat settings and we go to pop-out? But
I don't know.
I don't really see it.
Are we joking about what? Taking it 7 times and turning into a tutor?
No. That was when we were fighting.
That was earlier? Oh.
You should hear the horrible things we say to each other.
You shouldn't. It would
No,
ruin
you shouldn't. Yeah. It would break your brittle spirits.
Yeah. And your spirits are already so brittle.
They're so brittle.
Which is why we are in this industry.
It's like
We seek out brittle spirits.
gold foil that's 1 atom thick.
Oh my god. It sounds like Rutherford's gold
I don't think it
foil
does.
experiment.
No, it doesn't.
Oh, never mind.
That's not what I was referencing.
That's pretty thick.
It
Compared
is.
to something smaller than an atom.
Yeah. Ooh, what the heck?
What?
I don't know, my lord.
Should I make the boingy noise more?
Yeah, you should. Yeah, we're gonna get
The links
to the.
are.
I'm so sorry about not responding to any of your questions, by the way. We're gonna get there in a second once we figure this out.
Not goofy. I find that very goofy and fun.
So difficult.
Probably because they did that in Tom and Jerry, and I watched a lot of that when I was a small tyke. A lot of Tom and Jerry. They had a lot of noises like that. A lot of this. It's good. It's also great to stay in shape. I've lost a couple pounds doing this over the past couple days.
This.
Levi, what are you doing? Have people said stuff?
Did something come up?
Yes.
Yes, good.
This is fun. It works! Very good. Butter Vader,
hello.
Aswolf. They're all still here. It's everything still exists. This makes me want to play Boing.
All right, let's do some Discord and actually help people. All right, so sorry about that, everybody. Discord. All right, so Shirty, who's Shirty Do? Are you Woof?
Raise your hand if you want me just to do an ASMR chat where I just do this. Oh, Azen wants me to do that.
Oh, Zane. Okay, I don't think that's what it was. Oh, you just did the. Do you remember what day it was when you did this? You remember this?
No. Am I remembered? Of course you're remembered, Butter Vader. We couldn't forget you. Even if we tried. And believe me, we've tried. Please ASMR. My emotions don't exist.
You don't know what you're asking for.
Your emotions don't exist? Is that because you've repressed and dissociated, or what? My emotions don't exist.
All right.
We should change our stream to ASMR, man.
Yeah?
Yeah.
SAT.
SAT, ACT. ACT, SAT.
That's very nice.
Prep. SAT prep.
Okay, so we have this circle. So let's draw this circle.
I'll give you a circle.
Where? So 3, 6 is the center. So that's the center of the circle. It has a radius of 5. So that'll go down to here.
I have a child
I'll go
in 4
over to
minutes.
here. You have a child? Wait,
must leave.
what about
I'll be like 5 minutes late. It's fine.
to the movie?
It does not take me that long to get there.
You're not going to be 5 minutes late.
I'm going to take an Uber.
Okay.
Yeah. They're repressed. Yes. Good. You followed the directions. Now you can be cold and calculating and
Yes.
not feel anything.
Okay, so we have this circle, and then it says the above.
I'm going to go tutor now.
Okay.
Goodbye, everyone.
So, if the circle is translated down a units such that the circle is tangent to the x-axis, the equation becomes what? Well, we have two possibilities. I'm going to do this in blue. To be tangent to the x-axis, we could have the bottom of the circle just drop down by 1, right? And then we just have a circle that looks like this, right? Or we could drop it down really far and put it down there. So it doesn't really matter. We know that the 25 is not going to change. I forget who asked this. Was this, we'll figure it out. Should the center not be at 6,3 instead of 3,6? Did I mess that up? Sorry. Yeah, that's what it is. Thank you. Just turn sideways and then flip this image. You know what? That's what it is. It's because the image is flipped. That's why I screwed it up. Actually, that's not really possible. Let me just redraw this. I apologize. Thank you for pointing that out. Foolish. Okay. Sorry. So we'll be back tomorrow. We're going to be streaming for longer tomorrow, by the way. I'm going to do this question, and then I feel bad, so I'll do one more, and then we can do as much stuff as possible tomorrow. We're going to start at a different time tomorrow. It's going to be, I should write that up. Actually, cram session. Cram session will be 6 to 8 p.m. Okay? This is Friday. Tomorrow. Oy. Okay. So, this question, now that I'm going to actually draw it the right way, we have 6, 3. So that means in our thing here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Doesn't matter. What am I doing? Here. That's the circle, so we go down to there. We go over to here, so our circle is going to look just like that. If it doesn't look just like that, you've drawn it wrong. So we have this circle, and we want to move it down. So now there's only one option, right? We do have to move it down, so it's now going to be here. So how far have we moved it down? Well, the top of the circle should be, if this is at 3, then this has to be at whatever that is. This point up here will be 6, 5 above 3 because the radius is 5. This will be 8. So we need to move this circle down 8 units, right? If we move it down 8 units, then the the y value of the center of this circle will have to be 6, 8 down from, everything has to move 8 down, right? So that means 8 from this original 6, 3 would be 6, negative 5. And now we need to get something to equal negative 5. Min, where are you? That's crazy, dude. Is everybody with me here? I forget who asked this. Was this you, Zane, asking this? Okay, so from here, now we need to figure out what the y value would be. So in that second equation we're given, we have y minus 3a, y minus 3 plus a has to equal negative 5, right? Or sorry, this has to be negative 5. So you have to do y minus the y value, right? That's what it has to be. That's, oh, in Saudi. Jeez, Meme. That is very far, and it is very late. What are you doing awake? You're crazy. You're absolutely insane. So we know that in that equation there, we want it to be y minus 5. Sorry, y plus 5. It needs to be y plus 5. But what we have is y minus 3 plus a. That's what we have. So we have to set these equal to each other to figure out what a is. So if we have y plus 5 equals y minus 3 plus a, the y's, ooh, boy, okay. That's gone. The y's cancel, and then we add 3 to both sides. You like that, Zane? Pretty cool. We get 8 equals a. Oh, stop that, Butter Vader. Stop that. You hush now. Okay. Yes? Happy? Zane, any other questions following up on this? This time, it seems like this was the last part that you missed, right? Because this is relatively easy to visualize, and I don't know how else you would do the problem aside from visualizing this. So with this type of thing, the equations are the hard part, I think, of the SAT. They really like making you do equations. So you have to consider, okay, what things need to be equivalent? Let's do those things. Okay. Also, if anybody's commenting on YouTube, I'm really sorry. We can't see YouTube comments at all right now. So if you've been commenting, I am very sorry. Okay. I'm going to get rid of this. We're going to do one more question, and then we'll be back tomorrow. Ooh, by the way, I'm seeing the new Joker movie tonight. Very exciting. Is anybody else seeing it anytime soon? We're sponsored by the Joker movie, by the way. Big sponsor. That's why we can do this. Okay, let's do, so we did some of those, we did some of those. Let's see. Yeah, let's do another one of these. Okay, that's cool. This is fine. This is good. This is harder than the last one. Stream the movie for us. Yeah. Right. Okay. So this question is significantly harder, for sure, than the last one we did. But we're going to use the same proportions. So the circle above has center O, sure, whatever. The length of arc AD probably ADC they're saying is 5 pi. It's just cut off on this picture. Oh, the length of that is 5 pi, and x is 100 degrees. Ah, interesting. Let me redraw this. So we are trying to find, nope, C. They're doing the D here just so that you know it's this version. So if they said arc AC, you wouldn't know if it's AC or if it's AC. So they say ADC, so you know it has to go in that direction. That's the only reason that's happening. And this is x degrees. X is 100, so there's just, it's useless. That's useless. ADC is 5 pi, so honestly the D is useless at this point. I'm just going to cover that with, so this is 5 pi here. That's 5 pi, that's 100 degrees. Yeah? Now, we want to find what is the length of, ABC. Yeah, that's what we're looking for. So, these markers are all just losing it. It's not illegal if you don't get caught. That's true. Why should you go to prison for a crime somebody else discovered? Anybody can name that show? Let me know. All right, so we have this information. We're going to be using these proportions. We're doing lengths of arcs, so it's not the area of sector stuff, it's the circumference and arc length stuff. So let's set up our proportion. This is going to be a couple different steps. So first step will be, we are going to, if we can find the circumference, and this is the logical leap you need to make. If we find the circumference, then we can figure out what the arc length of ABC is, because we know this is 5 pi. So if we find the circumference to be 12 pi, great, then we know that this is 7 pi, yeah? Also, I think I saw this posted on Reddit somewhere, so whoever posted it, unless that's you posting it in our place, can you link them to our stream, to this moment on the stream, possibly? Or just say that we did it, just so that they know as well. And if it was you, great, cool, you're here. All right, so let's do 5 pi, that's the arc length, over 100 degrees, right? And that must be proportional to the whole circumference, so let's just write that as C. And you know what? Let's change that. Let's do 2 pi r instead. That's a little bit faster. 2 pi r. That's the circumference of the whole thing. No, but I don't care about r. I don't care about any of that stuff. I just want circumference. That's all I really need to find. So circumference over 360 degrees. So it's a bit of it over a bit of it, right? A bit of the whole circumference over a bit of the whole 360 degrees equals the whole thing over the whole thing. Now we solve for C. So what can we cancel out here? Let's use another marker. We can divide by 10 there and there. This becomes 1, this becomes 2. So then we have 1/2. So let's multiply by 36, and we get 18 pi equals C. So C is 18 pi. Therefore, this is we're going to subtract, let's do in pink again, minus 5 pi will give us 13 pi. And that would be the answer here. So B. It's very possible I also lost connection with your messages again. I really hope that didn't happen, but that may have happened. Shoot. Let me check. Are you all saying things or no? There's no way for me to actually know that. What do we got here? Oh, not really. Okay. Sorry, the not really is for what? You don't get it at all, or what's the deal here? Zane? What's the problem? Things. Great. Cool, you're here. Okay, so this was the last question, so I hope you bring more questions tomorrow. Show up right at 6, start asking your questions. All right? This computer is garbage. Word to the wise, when your actual good computer breaks and you buy a Chromebook, like just buy a really, really, really bad one or a very good computer, not something in between. Mid-range stuff is kind of annoying, in my opinion. Thanks for the bit, by the way. I'll leave that for Brady. No. What's the no for? I forget. Who knows? Anyway. Chromebooks kind of, yes, I agree. Chrome OS is cool, but it's just not that robust. I needed something fast because my MacBook might get fixed. I'm not a fan of Macs. Did anybody see the, oh, I didn't mean to do that, shoot. Anybody see the Microsoft event yesterday? They're coming out with some really, really, really cool stuff. Well, this is earlier for you than me, yeah? Is that a 2-in-1? Does it go all the way around? Because that's what I want, so I can take notes when I'm tutoring on my whatever. Cool. All right. Anyway, I gotta stop. I gotta go see this Joker movie and touchscreen. Yeah, that's exactly what I want. I want a 2-in-1 touchscreen. Kind of want to wait for the Microsoft. What is it? The Surface Pro X to come out in early November. My MacBook, well, it's not lasting at all. I need to, anyway. You don't need to hear any of this. I will see you all tomorrow, hopefully. I'll be at a wedding tomorrow, so I won't be here. Blast. Your wedding? Somebody else's wedding? Who knows? All right. Have a good night, everybody. Please come back tomorrow with your questions. Butter Vader, congratulations on somebody you know getting married. We all have to do it someday. Yeah. All right. I miss Brady too, but he'll be back tomorrow as well. So have a good night and good luck with studying going forward.